Well, J.J. Hanson really wasn't the sort of guy to think about life and death issues. After all, he was young, had a bright future, and a brand new family. But then the unthinkable occurred, shattering his world and forcing him to reevaluate what was most important.
In his darkest hour, J.J. Hanson clung to the words his father, a railroader, had always used to motivate him when he was growing up. "Can't hurt steel" became his motto and hashtag when his world changed suddenly in May 2014. The Sullivan County native, U.S. Marine, and former football star was about to face his biggest foe, a rare form of brain cancer called glioblastoma, known as the Terminator.
I was working for a company down out near Tampa, and I went into a what they call grand mal seizure. I was taken to the hospital. They did a number of tests. They came back and they told me that I had 2 lesions in my left temporal lobe. We had to do a biopsy. Following the biopsy, they confirmed, in fact, that it was grade 4 glioblastoma, multiform. Following a few more consultations, they said it was inoperable and that I had 4 months left to live.
Hanson, who had a lucrative background in government, having worked for Governors David Patterson and Elliot Spitzer, and as the deputy county executive for Ulster, now found himself in an unusual position: either give up or fight. He chose the latter, though the journey was rough. After surgery at Memorial Sloan Kettering to remove the tumors, Hanson suffered setbacks and lost his cognitive abilities.
So I couldn't walk, talk, read, or write for a while, and I had to rebuild that. And during that time period, in about the 5th month, I went through a very difficult period. I got sick, couldn't get out of bed for 4 weeks, was having emotional difficulties, and at that time I became aware of the issue of assisted suicide.
These days, the Sullivan County resident advocates on behalf of others who are in the same boat he once was. He's the president of the National Patients' Rights Action Fund, working hard to educate others about what he says are the dangers of legalizing assisted suicide.
2 years ago, if you would ask me that this was an issue that I would be advocating for, I would have definitely said no. It would not have been something I would have been involved in. But going through what I went through, I understand it from a different perspective. And that perspective is how it impacts other patients. The uniqueness of this particular issue is that it's not just one person. It's not just for you. It impacts other people. So your decision to potentially end your life early could impact my life in very negative ways. It could take my life away from me. It could end my life.
Currently, the so-called aid in dying is legal in 5 states and is being advanced in New York. On May 23rd, it passed the Assembly Health Committee in a 14-11 vote, something that troubles Hanson.
Many people ask me, okay, so how do we fix this? You can't fix it through assisted suicide. If the problem is people going through difficulty at the end of their life, let's increase palliative care. Let's work on end-of-life planning. Let's work on helping those who are going through end of life in a very positive and valuable way for them. Giving them this alternative of assisted suicide does not solve the problem. It creates a whole new set of problems that we are not prepared to deal with in our society.
In Glens Bay, I'm Paula Mitchell for HVNN.com.